Cancel. Come on, save changes. No, cancel. Come on, I'm supposed to be live. What's happening? There we go. Okay, sorry. Hey, everybody. Tara Greene here. Okay, Mercury retrograde, you know that. All right, I couldn't see myself. I got a little ahead of myself there. So anyway, welcome, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans from all over the world. This is Tara Greene. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada. And this Cosmic Intelligence Agency is, of course, down in Melbourne, Australia. So if you haven't been here before, I'll explain how this works. I'm going to outline the major planetary aspects of May. And please come on and say hi so I can see where you're from. Okay, say hi, please introduce yourself. Let me know where you're from. I'm going to wait a few minutes until I really get started. I'm going to smudge everybody here. Again, it's April 30th here in Toronto, Canada. And the CIA is a great group of international astrologers from all over the world. I'm smudging everybody here. I don't know. Can you see me there or not? I seem to be live. Current rate is too slow. Okay. Okay, I don't see anybody on here. Now I'm wondering if there's a problem with this now that I'm on the wrong thing. Okay, hold on. I should be on live. Okay, can somebody please help me out here and see if I'm on live because nobody seems to be on here. I don't see anybody. Okay, there you go. Hi, Barbara. Okay, can you see me okay? Okay, Barbara came on. It says my current rate is too low. Okay, too low FEC. Set the frame rate higher. Okay, do I have to do that right now? How do I do that? Sorry. Okay, how do I do that then? Okay. All right, well, this has never happened to me before. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, is everybody seeing me okay? All right, great. Okay, so I'm just getting a message saying my bit rate frame rate is too low or something like that. Okay. Okay, good. All right. This warning keeps coming up. I guess it is because, you know, it is Mercury retrograde and we're expecting that to happen. I just can't see myself live on the, I'm trying to see myself on the phone here. And I see you all on the screen here, but not on the phone. Okay, trusting that you're all there. Okay. I wish this thing would stop popping up here. All right. So I hope everybody's fine. I want to welcome you to this month's preview. We're already in May. It seems kind of shocking that we're already at the 5th month of the year. And we're moving from Taurus season, okay, into Gemini season. Of course, we're heading into a big, very powerful Scorpio lunar eclipse on Friday on May the 5th at the 15th degree. That's one of the most powerful degrees in the zodiac. The 15th degree of all signs are considered to be very powerful. It's like the crest of the wave. Okay. Mercury is still retrograde, we know that. And 3 planets change sign this month, most importantly, Jupiter on May the 16th for the rest of the year. So we're definitely moving into a whole new modality with Jupiter because Jupiter is the largest planet. And of course, all Tauruses are now going to get the love. Aries, you've had enough time. Okay. So it is Beltane, May the 1st. It is Beltane. That is an ancient pagan cross-quarter day festival, which means that in the northern hemisphere we're halfway to summer, and in the southern hemisphere down under there, you're halfway to winter already. Okay, so you know the days have gotten longer here. Of course, we are on daylight savings time here. The days are definitely longer, and it's time when you can safely plant here in Toronto at the 49th parallel where I am. So for those of you who celebrate May Day, you know, it's an ancient fertility festival celebrating the green man, the goddess's consort, and couples would go blindly into the woods and mate with a stranger. And they would celebrate with fertility, the sacred marriage, and the crops. So it's a very big festival. Okay, and the May Queen comes out tonight. So you might want to look up when the May Queen comes out, the Queen of the Fairies, also very auspicious. There's many rituals. I've written about this on my blog. So let's get right down to it. So May the 1st, Pluto in Aquarius, that's tomorrow, turns retrograde, which he does every year for 4 to 5 months of the year. So he turns retrograde at 0 degrees of Aquarius at 10:08 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 5:09 a.m. GMT. I won't rattle off all the time zones all the time, I promise you. So Pluto's going to move backwards and is going to revisit Capricorn, where I believe that Pluto is even more powerful as it retrogrades back into the last degrees of Capricorn now and into 2024. So expect more toxic secrets and power and everything that's been hidden to come up, to bubble up to the surface. Okay. Now, of course, if you thought you were born at the last degree of Capricorn, you were finished all that, you're not. All right. So Mercury also is retrograde. It makes a cazimi, which means that Mercury is sitting in the heart of the sun, also on May the 1st at 11 degrees of Taurus at 7:28 p.m. EDT. If you want to do a retrograde ritual, that might be a good time to do it. Okay. On May the 1st, also, Juno, one of my favorite goddesses, I'm writing a book about her, enters Gemini. So Juno is the feminine form of genius. Her symbol looks like a little magic wand. She represents the feminine genius, which is multitasking, as opposed to masculine genius, which is very linear and logical. So in Gemini, it improves our ability to really communicate in a much more powerful and more intelligent way. On the 2nd, Pallas Athena, the asteroid goddess, enters Leo. So we want to forge ahead. She is the warrior goddess. She's the patron of Athens. The city of Athens was built in her honor. She's a parthenogenic goddess. Of course, the Parthenon named for her as well. So she rules our hearts. So you want to be much more strategic about where you're putting your heart. On May the 4th, Venus squares Neptune. Now, Venus is considered to be the planet of human love, and Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So when they're in a tough aspect, that can be good. There's tension. It can be very romantic, very idealistic, very creative. So for all creative types, it's a good time to really let that creativity pour through you. Venus also sextiles Jupiter at 9:03 p.m., which is even better. That's even luckier. All right, and then on May the 5th, the same thing happens at 12:03 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On that Scorpio lunar eclipse at the very powerful 15th degree, it's opposite Uranus and Taurus. So, we can expect very unexpected shakeups, cataclysms. Uranus rules the internet, rules cryptocurrency. So that might reveal also some hidden power or resources. Scorpio rules finance. So it should be a big financial shakeup day. And I am doing a live workshop on the 3rd, by the way, 2 days before, to prepare you for that powerful workshop. And I'll drop a link in about that. You can find out about it through my website at taratarot.com. And also, during all eclipses, you never do any magic or put anything out there, because it's a very internal, especially a lunar eclipse, especially Scorpio, super mysterious, super secret, super internal, it's a big soul cleanse, soul detox time. We're letting go of karma. It's a South Node eclipse. Okay, so you have to be very careful how you are during the eclipse. And that's why I want to do this prep for people so that they can sit with the eclipse and really do the deeper releasing. Okay. May the 6th, Ceres turns direct. Ceres, the great mother asteroid, now a dwarf planet at 2 degrees of Virgo, and it's King Charles' coronation. So that's a very interesting. He has tied to eclipses right through his life. And, Prince William was born on an eclipse, and so is Kate. And the royal family is all tied to eclipses. And Diana died on an eclipse. And I'm sure her shadow, we were just talking about this, is going to be very present during King Charles and Queen Camilla's coronation. On the 7th, Venus quincunx Pluto. So that's, again, this wealth aspect. Something's hidden, something's coming up, at that time. And it can be power hits, things are not seeing shadows. Again, whenever we're dealing with Pluto or Scorpio, it's always about the deep shadow work. May the 7th, Venus enters Cancer. So we all want to go home. We all want to cook that home cooked food. It's going to be very emotional. Mars in Cancer, Venus in Cancer. It's all about the children, the mothering, the nurturing, the food. Food is a big thing. And what makes us feel emotionally safe. So we want to nurture, we want to protect children. That's very important. Venus enters Cancer at 7:24 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 10:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time until June the 5th. So there's about a month of Venus in a very nurturing sign. So it could be a good time to move or redecorate your home, Venus in Cancer, and expect to cry a lot. Okay. May the 9th, the Sun conjuncts Uranus. So at 18 plus degrees, that can be also shocking revelations in the financial market, earthquakes. And it's a Uranus cazimi, basically. So that's kind of pretty wild energy, with Uranus, you never know what's going to happen. It is sparks revolutions, which is still going on in France and in Iran. We don't hear about it in mainstream news, but it's definitely happening. So, people can rise up, and again, big financial chaos. So there could be a big financial meltdown in the world on that day, May the 9th. Yeah, shocking revelations. May the 12th, Mercury retrograde sextile Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Cancer. So again, you could be rewinding old addictions, rehab, old flames, all of that stuff, old family issues that were maybe not sorted out. You want to go back and try to fix that up. On the 12th, Venus in Cancer trines Saturn in Pisces. That's a good positive aspect. You want to use that. It's good for all the water signs. It happens on the 12th at 11:57 p.m., on the 13th at 2:57 a.m. On May the 14th, it's Mother's Day here in North America. Mercury in Taurus goes direct at 8:16 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So a retrograde Mother's Day, oh, you might get her the wrong gift, or people don't meet at the same time or something like that. But always celebrate your mom. And Mother's Day is really every day. It's really Earth Day every day. On May the 15th, Mars in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. Very romantic, very idealistic. Can be a big forgiveness day for people in your family. Dreamy. Go by the water. Do something nice. Paint with watercolors. Write poetry. On May the 16th, Jupiter enters Taurus, 10:19 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:19 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 5:19 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So wherever Jupiter is, Jupiter holds the biggest sway. Jupiter transits a sign basically every year. Jupiter's kind of moving in the middle-ish of the year between signs. In Taurus, it's all about the beef. It's all about what's tangible, what's real, what's physical, what we can hold on to. So again, Jupiter can be overexpanding, real estate, money, could be inflation, gold, all the tangible, all the blue chip things usually get inflated with Jupiter in Taurus, also cows and beef and all of that stuff. And where's the beef? Again, that's an old commercial. And May the 17th, Jupiter squares Pluto at 9:11 p.m. Again, these two are very lords of riches. So if you have planets, again, at 0 degrees of Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, it can be a very empowered day for you. Jupiter square Pluto is riches. Okay, 9:11 p.m. Okay, May the 18th, Sun sextiles Neptune, very again dreamy, nice, and Mercury sextiles Saturn and Pisces. It's good for again rehab, forgiveness, all of that stuff. May the 19th, Mercury sextiles Saturn again, 2:40 a.m. On the May the 19th, there's a new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus, conjunct Algol, the most feared, the most demonized star in the sky. That's Medusa's head. She's very powerful at 8:53 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So Algol was this very powerful goddess, beautiful goddess who was demonized because she's so powerful. So again, new moon at 28 Taurus. Again, new reveal, and again, money markets, Taurus, our gut instincts, tangible things. Could be lots of inflation at that time. And on the 20th, Mars enters Leo. So wherever Mars is, that's where the action is. Now remember, Mars was in Gemini for forever. Been in Cancer, where our stomachs are very upset. We're all just thinking about eating all the time and feeling insecure. But when Mars enters Leo, it's like, bam, I'm the king or the queen of the day. So very dramatic, very empowered. Leo rules the heart. So go for what you want is the card of strength in the tarot. That's at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time until July the 11th. So that's, a good 6 weeks of Mars and Leo. So you want to be center stage, that's the time to do it with Mars and Leo. May 21st, the Sun enters Gemini, 12:08 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 3:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 7:08 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So we're into the sign of the Twins. So again, it is the time for lots of communication, talking, thinking, choices, and not being able to make up your mind about what you want. So you get to be kind of like a big kid and very curious and ask all the questions. So it's a good time to meet people, social media, any kind of advertising. Mercury rules Gemini, of course, and it is a great merchandiser. That's Mercury, mercurial. Be a trickster too. Sun trines Pluto in Aquarius, also on the 21st. That's again big wealth aspect. Good for crypto on that day, 9:58 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Sun sextiles Mars at 10:57 p.m. That's a good time to declare your heart as well. Sextiles are nice supportive aspects. May the 22nd, this sextile of Mars from the Sun happens at 1:57 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, we're almost finished here. Mars 22nd, Mars squares Jupiter in Taurus at 10:13 p.m. That's Pacific Daylight Time. Again, this is really an amping up in our hearts, in our guts, what we want, what we're passionate about. So it can spark lots of romances, lots of sensuality, of course, Mars squaring Jupiter. Again, on the 23rd at 1:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On the 24th, Venus in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. So that can be, again, an outpouring, very literally, of wounding, of vulnerability to family, to friends, to just, opening up and being intimate. That's a good thing, actually. May 26th, Venus sextiles Uranus, so expect some crazies to go on, again, with money, finances. Venus rules on that, and your love life. May 28th, the Sun squares Saturn in Pisces at 3:46 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And again, that is a challenge, Gemini Pisces, to, where's your thinking and where's your imagination? You know what I mean? To kind of, are you being real or not? With Saturn and Pisces, that's the challenge, Okay, so now here's the part I know that you've all been waiting for. Okay, now, so the way this works, if you haven't been here before, I take the tarot cards and I use my special crystal and I tune into you all. And I use the 22 major arcana here, plus I have an couple of extra cards here, which I guess I should show you. This is the special Da'at card. This is the invisible Saphiro. Some people say that that's like Pluto, that card, although that's not traditionally what it is. And I have an extra card here, which is called the Wishing card. And I just always like to put that. It's a minor card, the Wishing card, just to see who gets 9 wishes. Okay, I'm your fairy godmother, so I get to give you 9 wishes. Okay, and I'm going to use this extra set. My intuition said you need a little help and guidance because this is a big month. This is called the In Between Tarot, and it's by, what's her name here? It's by Janine Worthington. So she invented, it's very clever, how to get from one card to the next. So it's like a bridge builder. Okay, so Aries. So I'm going to start with Aries. You're going to have to be patient. I know you all want your own sign. So you know your sun sign, of course, and you want to, if you know your moon sign, your rising sign, or even where the planets are, Mars, Venus, whatever, Jupiter, you can use the card that comes up for them. Okay? All right. So, Aries. All right, as Jupiter leaves your sign this month, you have to look back at where you've been. So get the card of the star here, the number 17. So the number 17 in the tarot is Aquarius. Okay, so you're going to have to break out of the molds that you've been in, Aries. That's not hard for an Aries. They like change. They like things that are different. Uranus is all about change, invention. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And also, you get to be the star of the show. So maybe between now and the 16th, when Jupiter enters Taurus, you go to the finish line. You finish up, you be the star, you take the cred. You finally see the big picture. Maybe you finally see off in the distance where it is you're supposed to go, and you bring in that higher consciousness. You get the message. Jupiter is the teacher. He is the master teacher. So maybe it's a good time for you to really integrate how far you've come, what the big vision is. It's an air sign, big vision. Maybe do some more deep breathing and break out of the mold. Make a big break, really change it up, really reinvent yourself. Okay. All right. So there you go. So Aries, you get the star. Okay. And let's give Aries a little helping card here. Okay. So Aries, you get this card called Purpose. And it is the card that brings together the Tower and the Chariot. Okay, now the Tower is ruled by Mars in the tarot. So purpose, yeah, again, focus on your purpose. I would say that's it. Really get clear about that. Aries gets bored and restless very easily. So focus on one thing, I would say. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we're going to do Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, you're all getting ready. I'm sure you've been waiting for this for 12 years for Jupiter to enter your sign. If you really expand, it's very fertile, very creative. It's good money, traditionally, um, very sensual. So you get to really indulge, which you love to do anyway. Okay, so Taurus, you get the card of strength here. Now, in some decks, this is number 8. In this deck, it's 11. It is clearly Leo energy, so it's very much about pride and courage and daring and showing off and being center stage and all those good things that Jupiter actually brings you. So can bring new love into your life, very definitely. This card usually is called Lust in my deck. Usually signifies a new passionate love affair. That's very likely with Jupiter in Taurus. So Taurus gets all the love. Okay. So again, your heart, the heart is what knows everything. Open up your heart more, be more bold, be more daring. You know, Tauruses can be shy. You know, there's that side of them where they just want to kind of stop and be couch potatoes and smell the roses and all that. You know, they don't really like change. And this is Leo. This is pride, strength. Go for it. You know, be center stage. Hey, Jupiter's only in your sign once in 12 years. It's starting now. It'll be there for the next, you know, basically year from now, more or less. Okay. So, yeah, wear your heart on your sleeve, Taurus. Again, show us all what you've got. You know, Tauruses are usually very beautiful, ruled by the planet Venus. Okay, so this is a good one for Taurus. Now, for an extra card, Taurus, you need some extra little help. All right, so you get the card called the Inner Guide. So the Inner Guide is about listening, again, to your own gut wisdom. Like Taurus is very practical. It goes between Strength and the Hermit, actually. So it is your inner wisdom, your inner guide, which will help you the most at this time. Trust that, cultivate it, nurture it, you know, whatever you have to slather on yourself to get in touch with it, the better. Okay. All right. So Geminis. Now, Gemini, you know, we were getting into your season pretty soon. All right. So Geminis. And of course, with Pluto at 0 Aquarius, if you're born in the beginning of Gemini, of course, Pluto's starting to give you that power. Now, you've got the Chariot here, the number 7, and the number 7 in the tarot is that 2023 equates to the number 7. So Gemini, it's all about home and domestic affairs and you feeling more emotionally grounded and centered and in the driver's seat, not all up in your head. And Mars in Cancer will have certainly be doing that, you know. So pay attention to those you love. Remember to feed yourself. Remember to flow with your emotions. You know, this is what number 7 is all about. And it's also about watching the cycles of timing. So the number 7 has to do with the 7 days of the week and the 7 chakras. 7s are replicated everywhere, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 musical notes. So knowing when to move forward and when to rest. And again, Cancer, it's like that crest of the wave, right? So you can't just keep running. You have to kind of pace yourself. And nurturing. This is about Gemini. Nurture yourself as much as you need. Could be weight gain. You could put on some weight, actually, at this point as well, with Mercury retrograde in Taurus. So, but that's okay. It'll all change. Everything's always changing. Okay. So if you want to move, this might be a good time for Geminis to make a move or to do something so that your home feels much more welcoming, nesting, and warm. Okay. All right. So Geminis. Let's see what you need. So let's give Geminis an extra little helper. You get this card called Prophecy. Prophecy. Okay, so it is in between the Hanged Man and Death. This works on the Tree of Life, actually, in between the signs. So prophecies. So listen to your dreams. You know, Cancer relates to the emotions, the water, the womb, or pre-birth experience. And remember that solar eclipses and lunar eclipses are all pre-birth as well. You can go back and look at, were you affected by this eclipse coming up and the one that we just had a couple of weeks ago? So prophecy, look into the future, look further down the line. What do you need to adjust now to make your future brighter? Okay, all right. So Cancer. Let's see what Cancer is going to get now. Okay, Cancer. Hi, everybody. Can see y'all. Okay, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're from as well. All right. Cancer, you get the Fool. So the 0 card, the Fool, is the symbol of enlightenment. It's the wisest card of the deck. I don't think this one's actually shown up for a while in these workshops now that I think about it. So brand new beginning, Cancer. it is the card of fertility. If you want to have another child, the Fool can represent a child. It can represent a new beginning on any level. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid of what other people think. The Fool essentially lives in the moment, and that is the gift of the present, and that is what enlightenment is all about. So be the Fool. It can be a fool for love. My cats are running around being crazy right now as I said that. And again, you've come full circle. This is the other thing about the Fool. It represents the full circle. What have you learned? And what are you ready to kind of just step into in a brand new way? Okay, so Cancer, let's see what you get for a helping card. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you too. All right, so Cancer, you get temptation. All right, so temptation. What is tempting you, Cancer, besides eating with Mars and Cancer, between Temperance and the Devil? So that's between the 14th and the 15th card there. Yeah, the Devil is fear. It's Capricorn energy traditionally. So as Pluto re-enters Capricorn, you're afraid you're going to fall back into some pit of materiality or something like that. You might have felt like you just kind of cleared some new headspace for yourself. Look at what's tempting you, and you have the Fool there, and just what, it doesn't matter. You don't care about the future, you don't care about the past. Maybe you should look into this. Sometimes we tempt ourselves and we get to look at our fear. We get to look at something we really want. Maybe we're afraid to get it. So temptation is a very interesting thing. You might want to act it out or try it out, or what's going to be the consequences of this. I mean, even though you're the Fool, you have to trust that if you trust your temptation, what tempts you, that you're going to be okay. All right. Okay, Cancer. All right. So Leo. Yeah, happy May, everybody. May you all be well. All right, so Cancer, you get the Hermit. Sorry, where are we at here? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Sorry, we're on Leo. Leo gets to be the Hermit here, which Leos don't really like, but there is a time for tuning in and a time for being out partying. This is the time to tune inwards. The Hermit, finish things off. Number 9, always about completion, perfection, manifestation, organization, meticulousness, taking care of the details, troubleshooting, really reflecting on yourself. The Hermit is actually very protective. It is a wise guide. It's your own inner light. It's your own inner wisdom. The Hermit is usually shown as an old man in profile holding the light. In this deck, it's the inner light. There's no outer light that's guiding you. It's always inner. Okay. So again, the number 9, completion. It's about work. It's about health. Maybe you need to take care of those things, Leo. Maybe you've been sort of running a bit roughshod there. So take care. Stop. Pause. Do not move forward till you've done your Hermit time. If you're in a relationship, you've just entered a relationship, it's always good to be alone. So if you're afraid to be alone, then that's something you need to work through. If you can't love and accept yourself as you are alone, how do you expect to be really wonderful in a relationship? Okay, so the Hermit can be also studying, going back to school. Again, health. Hi, Andre, my friend. Okay. All right, so what does Leo need? Leo gets the aftermath. Now, this is looks like a big atomic explosion here, sort of with a rainbow. Somehow I'm seeing an atomic explosion, although it's a cloud, interesting enough. So the aftermath of being the Hermit. Now, this, again, I think this is about a fear that Leo may have. What if I'm all alone? What if nobody loves me? But it's about, the rainbow is always there. The rainbow is actually Sagittarius energy and is always an invisible helper. Okay, so it's very interesting. I think it's about really consequences of your events. Maybe you're alone for a reason. Maybe you're giving yourself a hard time because Saturn is in Pisces and you're feeling guilty, but that might be a good thing to do. Maybe you need to sit alone and write, journal. Virgo is about, information. Okay. So, it can also be a karmic thing. Think about the effects of what you do. What's the aftermath? Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, right? Right, Leo. Okay, we're on to Virgo now. All right. So Virgo. Okay, I just want to make sure. I've been feeling kind of really spacey all day. It could be those solar flares still going on. Virgo, you get this card here. Okay, you get the dot card. Hi from Australia. You get the dot card here. This is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. It is the invisible Sephiro on the Tree of Life. It is like number 11 in a way. And it sits like above the Tree of Life and under the three, what they call the supernal triangle. The number 1, 2, 3, Sephiro is above. So that's in the area of archetypes, the triune, the trinity. So it's a bridge between kind of the human world and the archetypal god goddess world up above. Okay, so this is a bridge, Virgo, to help you to get above, beyond, see the big picture. It is the calling card from your holy guardian angel. That's how I like to present this card. So that can be a person in your life, actually a literal person who shows up like a guardian angel to protect you, and also that you need to connect with your guardian angels. Everybody has personal guardian angels and their lineage, their ancestor, and then of course there's the four major archangels, and you can always connect with them. That's their job. So the Archangel Michael, Ariel, Raphael, Gabriel, and Saturn is just past sitting on the star that represents the Archangel Gabriel. So, pray if you need to. Pray if you feel lost. Pray anyway. Pray and give gratitude for the good things in your life, Virgo. Okay, so this can be big help coming for you. Okay, I think that for early Virgos with Saturn opposite you, things might be quite difficult and you might be going through quite a test. Okay, so Virgo, you get the maze. So there was my indigenous teacher, Araya Mountain Fever, she used to talk about the web, the maze, and the matrix. That was in the early 90s before any of that came out. So are you feeling lost in the maze? Look at the myth of, I believe it's Theseus in the maze and how he left some yarn so he was able to get out. And also you do have that invisible helper. So if you feel like lost in a labyrinth or lost in a maze, Virgo, which is not usually what Virgo would ever admit, you would know the way out. You would know the way out, by not listening to your logical mind, by listening to your higher self. Okay. All right, Virgo. Okay. Libra. Hi from Hurricane, West Virginia. Okay. All right. So Libra, you get the card of the High Priestess here, the number 2. So the High Priestess is like the moon. She is the go-between between the worlds. She holds the veil. She's like in the twilight zone, very literally. She's the moon's embodiment between the rational and the intuitive, and she always tells you to listen to your dreams, to pay attention to your dreams, to write them down, to work with them. It gives you a lot of emotional strength to get by when you're alone. Again, something that Libras don't like to do is to be alone. So something can be unveiled in your life right now. It could be something about yourself, about someone else, a relationship. Again, paying attention to the moon's cycles, moving with them. Everybody's governed by the moon. We're all 70% water. So, as the moon changes sign every day, you want to pay attention to where the moon is. And of course, there's apps and, all the different astrologers write about the daily where the moon is and the aspects it makes. So pay attention to that. And the moon is always very fertile. It may mean that you need to be near water and reflect on things and to pause and to really balance. The twos are always about balance. It's about relationships and choices. Okay. So the High Priestess. So be the High Priestess. Really tune into that Scorpio lunar eclipse. Okay. So Libras, what do you get? Yeah, I'm really going on this week. This month. Okay, adolescence. This one's called adolescence. All right, so the High Priestess and this helper card called Adolescence, which is between the Empress and the Emperor. Now, the Empress and the Emperor would represent the divine couple, the archetypes of the parents, the king and the queen, very synchronistically here. Kind of maybe trusting some more mature archetypal part of yourself. We always have to have the inner marriage if we want to have the lovers on the outside. Or be like a big kid again. What did you do when you were a teenager? What was your adolescence like? I mean, it's a difficult, awkward period to go through. You may have someone in your life, an adolescent, maybe that you can help out, that you're maybe the one who's the bridge for some young person who comes to you, or maybe you're a teacher, or maybe you encounter someone at that age that you need to help out with your inner wisdom. Oh, jeez. Okay, sorry, my cats are running around. They almost knocked my light over. Okay. All right. They decided to play now. Okay, Scorpio. Now, of course, Scorpio, you're going to get the focus of that lunar eclipse on the 5th. It is right in the middle degree of Scorpio. So if your birthday is opposite, is it May the 5th, sorry, November 5th, 6th, then, the eclipse is really hitting you directly. And also if your birthday is on that day, around that day, within a day or so. Okay, you get the moon here. There you go. Very synchronistic. This is the dark side of the moon. And of course, Scorpio is the darkest of the dark moons. And a lunar eclipse in Scorpio is, again, the darkest of the dark moons. So Scorpio, you're going to have to face your shadows. And so everybody look at where 15 degrees Scorpio is in your astrology chart, because we're going to do some deep shadow work, some deep detoxing. I call this a soul detox for ourselves, for the world. You have to face your fears. You have to face, this is the dark night of the soul. And I would say the world is certainly at this place, as are we all. So we have to really work through the parts of ourselves that are broken or hurt and traumatized, and everybody's PTSD, as far as I'm concerned. So we have to work through those. We have to be our own champions. We have to nurture the inner child. Okay. And we have to have faith. Okay. This card is always a test of our faith, which is really Saturn and Pisces, that there will be light at the end of the tunnel, or at the end of the deluge, actually. Right, so that's Scorpio. All right, so Scorpios, what help do you need? Okay. Scorpio, you get twilight. Okay, again, talk about the twilight zone. This is between the High Priestess and the Empress. So again, those two are at the top of that tree of life through the first horizontal level. So this is very feminine energy. So again, listening to your intuition, nurturing. Okay, very much so. This is about the High Priestess is more of the psychic, the spiritual, and the Empress is very much about the Great Mother, nurturing the inner child. So definitely lots of that going on. Okay, so Sagittarius. I really love to do this for you people, so I look forward to it every month. Okay, so Sagittarius, you get the Aeon. Now, Carl Jung wrote a book called Aeon, which I actually ordered. He talks about the New Age. It's very much about astrology, actually. This is, of course, Judgment Day in most regular tarot decks. And so it is about the dead, or the dead parts of ourselves, waking up, arising, coming back to life. It is very much like the myth of Isis and Osiris, which is connected to the fixed star Sirius at 12 degrees of Cancer, okay, which is where the U.S. sun is. So get a big resurrection. It's also very much a Scorpio theme. Resurrection, death, rebirth, transformation. So this is a good positive sign, okay, for Sagittarius, who is, of course, early Sagittarius are being squared by Saturn. And of course, the Scorpio eclipse is, if you use a whole house system and you start with Sagittarius on the ascendant, this is in your 12th house. So again, all those shadows, all those parts of ourselves that you may have forgotten about or given up on, or they're in your unconscious, they're alive. You have to bring them up. You have to breathe new life into them. Okay. All right. So new beginning, brand new beginning. It's a whole new day. It's a whole new life. It's like that song. Okay. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new life. All right. So Sagittarius, you get ascent. Okay. Ascension. Again, that's very much about new life. So this goes between Judgment and the Universe. So between number 20, which is what this card is, number 20 and 21. So there is a huge rebirth for Sagittarius right now. Okay. So look at where Sagittarius is in your chart. If you have any planets in Sagittarius, that's where you want to look at where the new rebirth is going for you. Okay. Happy birthday, Deborah. Okay. All right. So Capricorn. Okay. Hi from England. Okay. So Capricorn. Again, you thought you were finished with all this. There, Capricorn, you get the devil here. This is very much the card that represents Capricorn. You can see that. So Capricorns, again, for those of you born at that last day of Capricorn, or wherever 29, 28 Capricorn is, you want to look at where your demons are. And there are good daemons in Greek mythology and not so good demons. So again, this is your shadows, Capricorn. Power, control, secrets, manipulation. This is also corporate structure. So a lot of the demons that have been hidden are coming out into the light, I would say. Again, it's temptation. You do not want to sell your soul to the devil. So you could be reconsidering that at this time. Maybe this is not healthy. Maybe I'm not happy being in the corporate rat race anymore. Okay. And again, Pluto moving into Aquarius represents that you are going to go through a whole new beginning in the next year and a half or so. All right, so Capricorn, let's see what you get for a helper card. All right, you get legend, the legend. Okay, Capricorn, I'm sure you're a legend in your own mind. This is between the Wheel of Fortune and Justice, so this would be between 10 and 11 traditionally. The legend, okay, so legend sounds like a legacy to me, Capricorns, because you're into long-term world building, career building. What is the legacy or the legend you want to leave behind, or what legends do you like? Legends are like myths and fairy tales, and so maybe you need to read one that's attracting to you that mirrors your own story, your own life story. Where do you want it to go? You can always rewrite it as well. So what makes you a legend? What makes anyone a legend? Maybe these are qualities you want to integrate right now. Okay. So Aquarius. Let's see what Aquarius is getting. Okay. So Aquarius, you are going to be in the spotlight for the next 21 years. Okay, which is Saturn making 3 different stations. Okay, so Aquarius, you get the Empress here. So the Empress is about nurturing. And so, Aquarians have this archetypal reputation for being very airy and dry and detached and all that. And so this is maybe showing your feeling side, showing your nurturing side, showing that you really care. Because every sign has emotions, has thinking, has fire, has practical aspects to them at some level. And especially on the tree of life, talking about that, there are 4 worlds to each of the signs. So 4 different things for each the 10. Anyway, could be issues with your mother, could be dealing with women, could be this, again, this sense for nurturing. Christ, what nurtures you? What brings up your feelings of tenderness and care? It's also very fertile. She's considered to be a pregnant woman. She's Mother Nature. Maybe you need to get out in nature a bit more, Aquarius, to ground you. We don't want to all turn into transhuman robots, even though everybody's going gaga over AI and all that stuff. It's fun to play with, but we don't want it to take over. So think about the human side of yourself. Okay, you might want to think about your childhood again. This is like healing the inner child. I'm going to go back and touch on that one again. Okay, but it's very creative. This is Venus, Aquarius. So using your creativity to nurture, okay, yourself, somebody else. Okay, so Aquarius, let's see what you get. So Aquarius, you get Tantra. Okay, so Aquarius. This is now mid-degree Aquarius is going to get hit, of course, by that Scorpio eclipse. The Scorpio eclipse is going to hit all of the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So Tantra. This one is in between the Sun and Judgment, so number 19 and 20. So Tantra is about making the inner marriage. Again, this is very much about working with the complementary polarities, the masculine and feminine. It's not about gender, it's about actually magnetism. Yin, yang, day, night, all the complementary opposites. So again, balancing yourself. Okay, could be some great sex too, but always it's very spiritual. Okay, all right, and you can do it for yourself. Okay, so Pisces. So now we're at the last sign. All right, so Pisces, let's see what you get here. You get the symbol of justice. Now in this deck, this is number 8. Libra energy, again, trying to remain in balance. There could be some legal issues, very literally, that you're going through, Pisces, because Saturn, represents the law. It represents some severe karmic debts that you have to pay. So make sure that you do that. Again, the Scorpio eclipse, maybe affecting you very heavily, again, because it's just water, the lunar eclipses, water affects Pisces and Cancer the most as well. Can be a new relationship, can be this sense of being more detached. It is Libra, it's an air sign, so maybe you have to detach yourself from the heavy emotional stuff you're going through and feeling overwhelmed or limited by Saturn and Pisces and the people born in the first 4 or 5 days of Pisces here. Karmic justice, it's very much like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But often, Pisces tend to self-sabotage and then feel guilty and all that. And maybe you have to look at how you've created what you get back. Okay, that would be very much, that's what karma is really all about, All right, so balance, also ruled by Venus. Doing more beautiful things, giving back to yourself some form of beauty and relationships and connecting with other people. Scorpio and Pisces Saturn and Pisces can be very isolating as well. You need to stay connected to others. Okay, so Pisces, let's see what you get as a helper card. You get the portal. It's funny, I looked at all these cards just before. The portal is the axis between the Hermit and the Wheel, so between 9 and 10, if you know the order of the tarot, of course. So you are the portal. You get to go through the big black hole at the center of this galaxy to the other side, and you become a portal through your own actions. So something is opening up for you in a new way. It's very magical. You get to create it. I think this is a very beautiful thing. You're stepping through from one type of life into another. So look at where Pisces is to find out where the portal is in your natal chart. Okay. So I do believe I went through all the signs there. I want to again invite you to join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency as a member. They have wonderful astrologers and workshops. And please join me on Wednesday, May the 3rd. I'm going to do this live workshop at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to prepare you for this big Scorpio lunar eclipse. Very powerful. You can find out by going to my website at tarottarot.com. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next month. So sending you all of the best blessings. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.